What's your favorite part of history? Like, is there a specific period you like? People have oddly specific periods that they dedicate their entire lives to obsessing over.
In the perspective of Karnataka history,
No, generally global
no,
history.
so global history certainly we'll get into that, but in the perspective purely of Karnataka history, the Vijayanagara Empire, or I said the Karnataka Empire, has always uh, thrilled me to no extent. I have to pretty much every year. I go down to Hampi, which is formerly the Vijayanagara, the capital. But it's such a tremendous history in itself
Great rock
because
climbing there, by the way.
yeah, that parcel of it is part and parcel of it as well. But it's been a site of pilgrimage for thousands of years. It was only 300 years an empire, which it became famous for. But it has references to our traditional history from all the four yugas, and then it has continues to be to this day a pilgrimage site as well.
Yeah.
So that's the strange thing about it. And then, so that perhaps for our Karnataka history, that is.
And it looks very prehistoric. It looks
It
like it's
is.
straight out of the Flintstones, where perhaps dinosaurs resided because of the
Yeah,
way
it
the
is.
boulders are structured in pyramids.
Well, the entire Deccan itself, geologically, is over 100 million years old because the volcanic eruptions that happened post, of course, there's something like I might be completely off base
That's
about
okay.
this,
I mean,
but
yeah.
there's something like thousands of years of volcanic eruptions that formed the Deccan Plateau, and it has remained unchanged for many, many years. I mean, essentially. So the Deccan Plateau is one of the most stable areas. So what happens is nothing much has changed from prehistoric times till now.
No seismic
So
shifts.
no, there's hardly been any earthquakes, etc. For the vast majority of the Deccan. The plates that you have the shift, obviously Gujarat had its earthquake, and then the Himalayan belt has earthquakes all the time. So this has been a relatively more stable area. So obviously, from a geological perspective, our entire Deccan looks a lot more prehistoric in that sense, and certainly Hampi, and then if you go even further up north to Badami, etc., is it looks as if it's from another time itself.
About 2 years ago, mostly in the pandemic, I extensively was part of many rock climbing communities, mostly in the Gurgaon Faridabad area. But they used to routinely come to Hampi and Badami to do rock climbing. And I remember coming to Hampi in 2016 and being fascinated by just walking alongside Tungabhadra River and seeing that it looked very much like any second I would encounter a crocodile or a rhinoceros. I'm not sure if they're indigenous to the area, but it's the it's the premonition I had about how ancient it looked. If you want to watch small segments of the podcast, subscribe to Dostcast Clips.
Well, there's certainly crocodiles, no rhinos here. They're only in Kaziranga. But yeah, that's where the Vanaras stayed. That's where Ram met Anjaneya or Hanuman, and he met Sugriv as well. He battled Vali. When Sugriv battled Vali, he shot Vali a little north of there. And so all these stories are right there. And you have the birthplace of Hanuman there in Anjanadri Hill. You can trek up there. It's less of a rock climb now because there's steps all the way to the top.
Yes, I actually took the horrible way up. I didn't know that you could climb through the
Yeah,
steps.
so you can climb through steps and go up. There are many references. Ram sat for his Chaturmas on the other side of the river now. That is on the Hampi side of the river as well. So there are all these references there. It is so Rama spent a lot of time there, Rama and Lakshmana, in their search for Sita, and there are a lot of references, including the cave where he worshipped a shivling as well. All of which are there up to this day, and worship continues there as well. So these things are all there. It's a beautiful area. Both, I mean, you can go from the perspective of history to see what was formerly one of the greatest empires that India had. You can go in the term of being a Ram Bhakt and a part of his route towards Lanka and back. You can go to the perspective of being a Shiv Bhakt as well. You have Virupaksha, where Shiva was awoken from his samadhi. That is why Virupaksha, the third eye, essentially opening of the third eye. So that's where he was woken up, and that temple continues to be an active temple to this day. You can go there purely for, as you said, rock climbing as well, just to enjoy the geography, enjoy the space, nature. It has tremendous natural reserves as well around it, Daroji, etc. So it is one of the most beautiful places.
Was there ever a Tenali Rama, or is it that just fiction? Because my mom still has it, 101 Tales of Tenali Raman and Krishna Deva Raya. So I wasn't sure.
Krishna Deva Raya is certainly very true.
Yeah.
He had very able ministers around him. Otherwise, it obviously wouldn't be possible to rule such a vast empire so successfully. I mean, obviously, a lot of Amar Chitraktha, there is a lot of folklore and a lot of hyperbole added in.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's rooted somewhere in the sense of, I mean, even Akbar and Birbal comics
No,
are
he
there.
was called Birbal of the South, so I was confused if this is
Yeah,
actually true
he
here.
see even the Akbar and Birbal in the Amar Chitraktha is greatly exaggerated with a lot of hyperbole.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's nice to have those comics while growing up. I think it is the door that opens up you up to getting into legitimate history and understanding real history.